it's Emily Rand with ESPN Esports, and today in studio with me, I am very pleased to have Matthew Nadeshot Haag.
Nailed it.
From,
you nailed it.
from Hundred Thieves. First of all, just thank you for sitting down and doing this interview with me today.
No, thank you for having me. This is a really cool studio. And you nailed 100 Thieves. A lot of people like to say 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves, 100 Thieves.
Is it? Well, you know, on the LCS broadcast, they did drop you down to 10 for a day. Did you see that?
No, I did not.
There was a graphic error that dropped you down to 10 thieves.
Oh, I actually did see that at one point.
During your draft. So you lost 90 of them.
Well, we were in 10th place at some point, so I feel like it was well suited.
All right.
2-0 though. 2-0.
So going into this interview, I actually, right before this, I rewatched your introduction video that you did. And you're obviously like so excited, and you're like, I've had to record this so many times, and you know what, like, we're just doing it, it's whatever. So you were a little bit, I guess, your explanation of what 100 Thieves is to you, what the name means to you as a person, was incredibly long, I guess. So I'd like you to explain it to me. What does 100 Thieves mean to you in maybe a more concise?
I think 100 Thieves has definitely taken on a different meaning since the start.
Okay.
Just because the one thing I told every new employee at our company is that I want you to have as much influence on this brand as I do. Of course, I set the tone in a lot of different ways, but I think culture is probably the one aspect of the company that I can control at every turn of the corner. And I wanted everybody to help define what 100 Thieves is by the work that we put in and the attitude that we approach this business with. But the original mindset behind 100 Thieves is my family, they're all like blue collar, work their asses off, excuse me. They work really, really hard.
You could swear, it's okay.
Perfect. They work incredibly hard to provide for our family. You know, my grandpa grew up hustling in the streets of Chicago. My dad's been killing himself his entire life, manual labor to provide for his 3 kids. And so they've always been my biggest inspirations. And from their work ethic alone, I've just seen you have to put 100% of yourself into everything that you do if you want to be successful, or if you want to go out and get the things that you want in life. And then Thief is like, go out and take what's not given to you. Mm-hmm. Because for the most part, and I've said this before, mm-hmm. but most people are not going to have an easy life. It's not just going to be handed to you. So you have to work hard for the things that you need and things that you want. And that's always been the driving force and my mentality that I've had with everything that I've approached. And I just felt like it's a great, it's something that you can believe in. And so that's 100 Thieves. That's what it was from the start. I think it's continuing to evolve over time. And I'm excited for more people to have more influence on it.
So keeping that in mind, your roster actually did incredibly well, your first split.
Yep.
More, I think, better than people initially had thought they would do. And then you experienced, I guess, the very high highs and then also very low lows within that entire season, because by the time Worlds came around, the backlash against your team was honestly like a bit staggering.
Yeah, it was.
So describe to me what it was like going through the ups and downs of an entire League of Legends season with your team.
It was incredible. I mean, obviously we had our issues, and I wish we would have handled some of them better. But I was still learning about the League of Legends community and the things that they expect from teams with in regards to communication. Just because, for me, it felt like it was us against everybody. You know, even though that we were playing really well and we're doing our best to provide content that the community would love. I'm really proud of the production team and what they've done with the heist and how well they've showcased our players. I just felt like for a new team coming into the LCS, we were putting our best foot forward in everything that we did to provide more for everyone. And not saying that we did them a favor, but it was more where I was sitting and was like, man, our team is killing themselves every single day. Our coaches, our players, our staff, everybody was doing everything they can to make this thing successful. And you're right, there was a staggering amount of people that it seemed like they were rooting against us. So I think it was actually good for us. It gave us a chip on our shoulder, and we really wanted to prove to everyone that we were here for the right reasons and we were doing our best for the LCS and try to help it grow. And we made roster changes throughout the year in places that we thought would improve the team incrementally so that we could go from being a contender to actually winning. And it was a phenomenal year. Besides the bumps, I mean, it was so much fun to be a part of this world. And for the people that did welcome us with open arms and would support 100 Thieves, it felt like we had our own little community, our own little family, and it was us against everybody else. And so to go to Worlds and have a disappointing finish, I think contextually people don't give us enough credit because,
well, I was going to say, now looking back, you can be like, we were in with the world champions.
The world
finalists.
Champions, yeah, the world champion finalists. They were both in our pool and were the finals at the end. So in all actuality, I don't think we played as poorly as everyone thought, but we definitely thought there were improvements to make. And so we made roster changes with as much context as we could. We're not just throwing darts at the board here. We're doing all of our research. We're talking to different analysts. We're talking to our coaches. I mean, that was probably the most frustrating thing for me to witness, just because I'm involved with the League of Legends team, but I don't put nearly as much time as our staff. I mean, our GM, Jackson Dahl and John Robinson, I mean, these guys spent so much time with Prolly and Joseph and our entire program to try and get it right. And that's where I became upset, is just because I know how much effort was brought to the table, and to see them sort of drag through the mud, or the organization drag through the mud because the changes we made didn't work out. I mean, that's just sports, that's just competition, and I get it. But that's a more personal thing for me, and I guess I shouldn't bring that to the table. But it's been a great year. Obviously, it's been a little frustrating over the last couple months and the spring split, where we thought we made the changes that we needed in the off season that would help us improve. We thought the role specific with Bang coming in and Anda played well at Worlds, I think, last year, and just really round out that roster with Someday and Bang just carrying. And then we have Afromu, and mid lane's been a little more difficult just because Ryu decided not to play, and now he's back. Just been a little all over the place, but just to see everyone playing well now. I mean, both teams go 2-0, Academy and the main LCS roster. I'm optimistic for the future. We're doing as much as we can, and I guess that's the only thing that I'd like to convey. It's not a lack of effort, I promise. It's just unfortunate things happening, and I trust all of our coaches. I believe in all of our players. I love our staff, and we're doing the best we can.